Hello, everyone. Kevin asked me to talk about being in the best place, and I've done several conference calls on this topic. So we are in the best place, the best time, and we're the best advertising company, period. And I spelled that not with a dot, but T-E-R-I-O-D. Hope I spelled that right. Best advertising company, period. I'll do whatever it takes, whether it is sitting on a bench, waving a towel, handing a cup of water to a teammate, or hitting a winning shot. That's like Kobe Bryant. Will you do whatever it takes to be successful? Successful selling isn't easy in today's business. We all know that. We have a little harder, a little smarter, a little longer. A little longer means an hour to 7 o'clock at night. Up and out. Kevin calls me every day at 7 a.m. and my boyfriend John goes, "Why does he call you at 7 o'clock? Because he knows I'm up. I've already been up for an hour and a half, dressed ready for the day, making notes, planning my day before I get a 7 o'clock phone call from Kevin. My day starts at 5:30, 6 o'clock. To be successful in today's environment, it takes uniqueness, passion, discipline, and time. You might want to write those down. Uniqueness, passion, discipline, and time. I don't see if you're still awake after lunch. Do you think of yourself working for a company, or do you think of yourself working for your company? You need to treat this as working for your company, not just a company. This is your company. This is my company. This is Carol's company. This is Charles' company. This is John's company. This is all of our company. You make the day what it's going to be. And what else would you rather be doing? I had a teammate call me. I won't say who, but I had a teammate call me. They were having a bad day. I'm sitting at a stoplight, and in front of me was a guy with a pickup truck with a porta potty. Really? We all have bad days, but our bad day is not that bad. Or when I'm in a town with 10 below degree zero, and there's a Schwann's man trying to sell frozen food. Really? Our bad day is still not the worst day. I know Oklahoma didn't have those cold temps, but in Illinois and Indiana we have those frigid temperatures. It was 4 years ago in January. I was working in a town of 2,000 people. It would be the IGA store. The town was 2 blocks long, full of businesses. Negative 14 below. My whole team called. Too cold to work. Yeah, okay, well, I don't know. It's negative 14 below. Actual temp is cold. Next day, negative 20 below. Yep, it's pretty cold. It's negative 20. I was actually still landed the Dairy Queen that day. I'll talk about that story in a minute. Friday is negative 24 degrees below zero, actual temp. Guess what? That would work that day. Wasn't going to get any warmer, I guess. You make it what you want. You work on the cold days, you work on the hot days. We're in the right time because we're no longer a novelty form of advertising. We are the advertising company. And you have to truly believe it. When I first started, I didn't truly believe it. I really didn't for the first 2 or 3 months. When I hired people, they asked me, how long did it take to start making good money? Well, when I started to believe that this was a good advertising company and that I could do it. When I started to believe that I could do it and make money. But I spent 10 years in the newspaper advertising business. Prior to that, I was a high school teacher, 9th grade algebra. This is a lot more fun, let me tell you, in 9th grade algebra. Prior to that, I have a degree from U of I in criminal justice pre-law. My first year out of college, I was a juvenile probation officer. And I had 200 plus kids on my caseload, and I spent 2 days a week in court. I had to interview them in jail, and I didn't sleep at night. This job's kind of like that, because my new teammates, I don't sleep at night for you guys either, so not a whole lot's changed, but I just care that you guys are going to make it. Everything's changing. Advertising's changing. We deliver. We promise what we deliver. Our customers get results. Our customers like us. They enjoy our visits. They write us success letters. Our competition, when I hired a lady, Antoinette, in Alabama, she came from RTUI. She says, boy, that book is nothing like what RTUI has. I said, really? I want to know all about the competition. Yeah, there's 3 or 4 letters in there. Nothing like what we have. Could you imagine having a presentation book with 3 or 4 letters? That's just 3 or 4 categories. That's not even nothing what we have. It was like a gift that we gave her. And during the interview, she couldn't stop reading letters. She couldn't believe what we had. And she'd been with them for 8 months. Speaking of Antoinette Simon, she called me as we're driving I texted you this, as we're driving here yesterday, that after she got done working at 5 o'clock on Tuesday night, she went to her duplex to see that it had burnt to the ground and she had lost everything. And she was up working that morning, had to drive 68 miles to Florence, Alabama, for a place to sleep. She's from Germany and her son's in Atlanta. She had no one. But you know what she did Thursday morning? She was making sales calls before she went and got clothes, wearing the same clothes on her back. You have to do whatever it takes. Nothing was going to stop Antoinette from making money. And I said, you know what, Antoinette, the best part about this is that we have a store in Florence, Alabama you can work. Really? She said, yeah, call the office, get the reports. I have 2 stores where you're at right now you can work until you figure out what you're going to do. But this time of year, the house will lose everything. And the next day they're up working. And didn't tell me for 2 hours when it happened. She was out there trying to work and call with questions about the town she was working on and her appointments from the night before. And she was like so stressed out. I said, what's the matter? I was almost speechless. You guys heard the call in the car. I didn't know what to say. That someone would do that this time of year and then still be out working the very next day. It's what it takes. You can't sit at home and worry about what you don't have. Think about what you can have. You know, when I worked for the local newspaper, we didn't have success letters. Oh, once in a while we did. And we'd go out and say, you know, if you write us a letter about how well this advertising works, we'll bring up a photographer and a reporter, we'll write a big story, take your picture, put it in the paper. If you write us this letter, that's a great idea. But guess what? They still had to buy the ad space. So, we did the nice story, took the nice picture, and they paid for their ad space. Would you rather be selling radio? You know, back in the day, radio was a good thing to sell, but you know, first it was the CD changers in the car. Then it's the cell phones, and I can tell you I never have the radio on. Well, I do now because it's Christmas music time, but most of the time I never have it on. I can drive 3 hours home from market and never have the radio on. I'm so used to not listening anymore. You know, but I grew up, my father would turn it on. You know, in the 60s, that's how you woke up. 4:30 in the morning, you have the radio going in the kitchen, getting ready to go work in the brewery. We all listen to the radio, but think about this. When you're listening to the radio, what are you doing? Are you sitting there taking notes? You're going to write down that ad? What special? Where? What time? What's the deal? What's the remote going to be? You're doing other things when the radio's on. They don't really have your attention. Plus, not to mention satellite radios these days, so radios are really hard market to try to sell. I've had reps leave us and go sell radio, and boy, that was a mistake. But guess what? Sometimes when they leave us, then I don't have that spot. We do have stores, but you don't get the ones you used to have. TV? Yeah, you see lots of commercials, but what channel? My boyfriend John just walked in and he never watches commercials. He's got that remote in his hand, he's flipping, drives me nuts. He don't watch commercials. And now that I have a DVR, I don't either. 9 o'clock at night when I finally collapse, I'll watch my shows at DVR. I don't watch commercials. That saves me time. So you pick your channel and target your audience, and you know what? It's pretty expensive. What about billboard? Yeah, you know, Mountain Home, Arkansas, town of 10,000 people, they've got a really good billboard salesman in that town because they're a billboard after billboard after billboard, and they think you've probably been there. Yeah, they think that that's the way to go. And it's expensive. And sometimes it's like $500 a month, or $1,000 a month. Or how about the digital billboard? It changes. I had to sit there because I was prospecting. So I'm sitting there thinking, I have to sit here for 10 minutes to see the ad on that billboard. But yet they think their message is important. Newspapers, they're closing every day. You know, I left teaching at the high school for a summer job, and I loved it. It was so easy. It was a great money. It was easy. 15 years ago, I was an order taker. Yeah, they were my color, large page ads, but you know, Newspaper was the way to go. We haven't came to newspaper advertising. It was easy. Everyone advertised in the newspaper. And back then, we were not a company. Not anymore. Not anymore. Ads run every day at that local supermarket. The customers, that's who we're after. Why? And I use this term, we are rolling. Have you guys heard me say it when I train you? We are rolling. Use that term, we are rolling every day. You don't have to just hear that commercial on the radio, flip through a TV channel, see a commercial, maybe spot it in the newspaper. And did you guys know this, that women look for advertising first? Men read a paper and they might see something that's going to get their attention. You know, make a big deal when you have a new store. This is opening week. And you've heard me say this. During opening week. And if I'm closed, I go there during opening week. And I'll give the cashier $10 if I see them talk about my program. I've done this several times on new programs to get it rolling. And to get them excited, you know, about a new store. I don't have any new ones anymore, but I used to do this. You know, it's not expensive. If you have sold the value, it's not expensive at all. You know, people want to advertise with us. We started doing the Jackie ads. To advertise here called Jackie. Cell phone number. One week I had 17 ads, phone calls. And Kevin said, "What are you doing, you guys? You got more calls than anybody." I said, "Well, those Jackie ads." And you know, it's people that are calling me I wouldn't have thought of. Sullivan Learning Center. You guys know what that is? I never called on them, and they're all over the place. How about child education? They're always looking for kids. Even when they're full, they still want more. This is the best one. I had an Amish farmer call me, and then it took me a long time to get him to answer that telephone because I learned they don't have the phone in their house. It's out by the barn. So when the phone was ringing, he was finally there, but he wanted to sell cheese from his farm on the back of the receipt. I said, "Well, I really can't advertise the cheese coupon, but I appreciate the phone call." I would have loved to have had that coupon on the back there, but yeah, Amish farmers, they want to advertise too. I had Manpower call me. They were a temp agency. And how about a telemarketing agency? You know, that tells me if you have Manpower calling you and telemarketing agency, they are not getting results either. And guess what? We stopped getting results. Now we have our own ads on the back of receipts for recruiting. I think people I hire now come from Craigslist. Is that right, guys? My new people? Craigslist ads? They don't read the newspaper ads anymore. We used to. 4 or 5 years ago, we run ads in the newspaper. I'd have so many people, so many calls, I might schedule 8 in for an interview. And I'm like, I have 1 or 2 people. No one's reading the newspaper ads anymore. So we started with Craigslist. And I think I got Carol off the back of the receipt. And we got Jerry off the back of the register receipt. Is that true? Craigslist? But Carol called off the back of the register receipt tape. And Merle, see in here? He called us off the back of our receipt tape, off of our ads. And you guys know how well Merle does. If we had not put the ad in the back of that receipt, we wouldn't have Merle. Well, not only are we the best, but we're also better than our competition. You guys have all seen our competition ads. You know, we have a good variety. We have a great graphic artist team. I tell my customer, you know, sometimes they want to advertise, but they just don't have time. I'm like, you know what, we do that for you. That's what we do. Just give me your message. I'll take a picture of your sign out front, and you'll be surprised how well it looks. I said, our team is so good, you're going to love your ad. I know they like it because that is not true. I know they like it because I've seen my ad on my competitor's team. Okay, I have 30 seconds. Anyway, David Hams is a great close customer of mine. He runs in 10 different towns. And I called him Tuesday. "Jackie, you're calling me too soon." "No, David, I'm not. It's been exactly 10 weeks. I need your ad copy, blah, blah, blah." He goes, "Well, the other people, they never call me." He goes, "You're on it." I said, "We are on it. We are on it." You know, I have a lot of stores like John. I do 5 times a year. And people get confused. It's a 4-cycle agreement. Well, it doesn't say you do those in 1 whole year. You know, we don't have to have a 5-cycle contract. Just do the 4 cycles and, you know, 10 months of the year. I probably have half my stores than I do 5 times a year. They'd rather have you there than not have their advertising out there. All right, what's really important I have to say. This is probably the best, I'll go to the best story because my time's already up. I had a customer that I have a local paper called Peak and Shoe Repair. And this summer he wrote me a letter about how well his advertising has worked. And he was my customer at the Peak and Times for many years. And then Mark decided to quit advertising. So when I came with this company, I went in to see Mark. I went, do I know? Go to here now. And he was talking to another guy at the register. And they were talking about radio. He goes, yeah, I spent $7,000 on radio, got nothing from that. And he looks at me at the door. Yeah, I used to advertise in Peak and Times, but I stopped doing that. I'm waiting by the door. I still do, so I'm crunched, you know, a little scared. And he said, but you know what? If they ever came back here and sold that county market receipt tape, I'd do it in a heartbeat. I'm going, oh, I'm perking up. He liked the program when he did it. So I walk up to the counter and I said, hi, Mark. He goes, hey, Jackie, how you doing? I said, great, I have a new job now. He goes, you do? Here comes his wife. What's your new job, Jackie? Well, I saw that register receipt tape at county market. Let me check the credit card. So anyway, they do like us. And I have a lot more to share, but this went so fast. But they do like us. We are in the best place right now. You know, we have the best value for their money. And new people, we've all been there. Every one of us were in polished shoes. Every one of us were from scratch. We all had the same exact stories. Kevin had the same stories. Roger had himself in 5 grocery stores. 5 grocery stores. And I asked him to share this, he didn't, but he had a $35,000 house, started hiring people, and then come over, he'd write them checks every Friday in his leeway on the plywood table. That's how it started. So we all started from scratch with this company, and we've all built it to what it is today, and we're all thankful that we have a great place to work in this economy. Thanks, everyone.